Trash sucks, baby. So we made a new diaper. Huggy Skin Essentials diaper helps...
This is bear country, and they depend on the salmon run for food, so I'll be in direct competition with them for the best fishing spots. We're only about 65 miles from where self-styled grizzly expert Timothy Treadwell and his girlfriend were eaten alive by a hungry grizzly.
So is this the place where you saw the bear from the plane?
It is, yes. You can see there's a very regular bear trail where they're coming and going from the river. If a bear comes close to us, we'll stand side by side and we'll try to look big just like they do. And then typically they'll just move around you and then move off. If a bear's trying to fish in an area, though, the last thing we want to do is for that bear to think that we want the fishing hole and we expect for it to move. So if they want it, we'll let them have it.
Okay.
Carrying a gun at all times is common practice in the Alaskan wilderness. And in case a bear does attack, my pilot Glenn Osworth Jr. is carrying a .50 caliber handgun. The bears may have already found a good fishing spot.
Just literally, I don't know, sort of 15 feet from where I'm standing, there's been a steady procession of fish through, working their way upstream. And there's also some big dark groups holding as well further down, so I'm quite looking forward to getting a line in the water.
There are no bears in sight, so it seems safe to try and catch my first salmon.
What you're doing is you're casting out, you've got a lump of lead here, and you flick it 45 degrees upstream. It comes down, and the fish are all facing upstream, and the idea is that they've got their mouths open. That just gets in their mouth, that panics them, they run, and as they run, hey, that ends up in the mouth. So it feels like a strike, but and that will be in the mouth, probably like that. But then they're not actually going for it. That's the theory. I'm going to see if I can put that into practice.
Time to try and get my first salmon.
Well, there you go. You got it.
Ah, we've got. Actually hooked one. That was a bit of a surprise. The line just was ticking down, and they haven't really spooked off too far. Just ticking down. It just stopped, and I think I was a bit too surprised. I just pulled. I should have sort of actually tried to set the hook a bit more on that one.
With this many salmon around, it's not long before the bears start returning to their fishing spot.
Here's a bear just coming out of the brush on the far side.
Whereabouts is it, Glenn?
He's just looking out of the brush, watching for salmon.
Oh, yeah. And that, I mean, that's a very definite fisherman's posture, isn't it? Even though it's
sure.
a...
Yeah, you can tell he's ready to pounce down in the water.
Within minutes, 3 large grizzlies have surrounded us. Our day on the river has suddenly become dangerous.
Oh, this is absolutely typical. You find a good spot, somebody else comes in, tries to elbow you out, but I think in this case, I'm going to make a graceful retreat.
He may turn back towards us, too, because there's fish between us and the bear. And definitely a good time to keep talking, keep making noise. That way, if he has his nose down under the water, he can still hear us and doesn't end up, popping out of the water right close to us and having to make a decision about how it's going to react.
With the bears this close, I can pick up some fishing tips.
I think it needs a bit of practice. It's almost on a level with my early fly fishing attempts, I think.
Yeah, they wait till there's a bunch of fish congregated right underneath them and then just jump right on top of them that way.
Because I guess, a bit like a human fisherman, if there's lots of fish there, even if you're a bit inept, you're still going to get something.
Yeah.
Once they've moved off a bit, I can carry on trying to catch my first salmon. But these grizzlies are putting me to shame.
Ah! Ah! Fantastic to see these bears close up. I wasn't really expecting that. You can see they're semi-aquatic, but I don't think this is the lake monster, but I think you could call it, in some ways, a bit of a river monster. Here we go.
Believe it or not, this is the first salmon I've ever had on the end of my line. This is a fish that can swim hundreds of miles up these fast-flowing rivers to get to its spawning grounds, so it can put up a strong fight.
Right, fish has done me a favour. It actually has turned off the main flow.
I'm so engrossed with catching a salmon, at first I don't notice our interested onlooker.
Out of the water, out of the water. Right, I think we're going to break the fish off. I think it... Oh! No. Hey, does he want the fish?
This bear is clearly not afraid of us, and that's a problem.
Should we just break it off? No. We're going to break the... No, we're just going to break the fish off.
This is a young grizzly, but although not fully grown, it could still attack and kill any one of us.
You can have the fish.
Luckily, it's more interested in the salmon than us. It took my fish, and a minute later, it's back for more. This time, we need to fire a warning shot.
I am going to fire away.
Oh.
He's getting too pushy.
Whoa! No!
You guys, plug your ears.
Just deep breaths, just calm down. It's all part of the day in the life of a fisherman in this part of the world.
Even after a warning shot, the bear won't leave, so it's best that my film crew and I get out.
Be careful, there's that one deeper hole.
I didn't quite succeed in landing my first salmon, but it's clear that they are a vital food source to the whole area. With millions of salmon coming in every year and fish like pike in these waters year-round, I'm convinced that there is enough food to sustain the monster I've been hearing about. My mission is to prove whether the arapaima deserves a place alongside the Amazon's undisputed freshwater killers. And as I go deeper into the heart of the Amazon in search of this fish, I encounter the other creatures that come with this increasingly dangerous territory. Fishermen that hunt the arapaima fish here in the Amazon regularly expose themselves to river monsters that have no need to prove their deadly nature. I've heard a tale of a killer caiman in these waters, so I head out after dark to see if I can find it. But it seems like I'm the one being watched. There are eyes following my every move.
I'm out at night hunting caiman. There's one in these waters apparently that is absolutely man-eating size. They say it is close to 20 foot.
Caiman's eyes reflect my flashlight, making them easy to spot.
Oh, there's one.
Maybe I can grab a small one to have a closer look.
Too fast. Yes! Gotcha. That's a caiman. Just having a close look at this animal here, I can really now understand why this is one of the most feared creatures in the Amazon. Just imagine this thing scaled up. I mean, those teeth, that sort of armor-plated body, yeah, it is just the perfect design for taking out just anything else that lives in this river. So it's basically a big one of these that was responsible for the death of that poor fisherwoman. She just went over it in her canoe and it just surfaced, flipped over the boat and then grabbed her when she fell into the water.
Seeing how many caiman there are in these waters makes me realise that it is as much the company that arapaima keep that makes them such risky prey to hunt. I've now been travelling for several days. It feels like I'm light years from civilization when I finally track down the Munduruku people.
Oh dear.
Although often dressed in Western clothes these days, the Munduruku still retain their connection to wildlife and to the myths and legends of old.
A época melhor para ver
agora essa época, né?
Época de ser. Okay. It looks like I could be here at the right time. A good time is right now when the water's down and the fish are actually concentrated. Okay. Ah. But lunch is on the go. Turtle's actually very tasty. If you're eating fish all day, every day, a little bit of variety actually is quite a treat. So some fish ready for supper. No fridge here or anything, so basically had to put some salt on, otherwise they just go off in the heat.
Assim. Olha lá.
Mesmo respirar tá forte, né? This is a little spice you put on your fish. It's got mais pimenta.
Pimenta aqui dentro.
It's sort of manioc juice with a bit of chili peppers in there, and it's got a bit of a bite apparently.
Aqui rapaz lá de pesca, aqui ele tá tomando farinha de pesca. De arpão, né?
De arpão.
Mas é de arpão.
So the way the people fish here is not, the sort of industrial method that is used or was used elsewhere. It's very traditional. It's one person in one boat with a harpoon just waiting, and there's somebody in the village who can possibly sort of take me out later on to see if I can see some arapaima at least anyway. It's a newborn little monkey, and they're feeding him with a bottle at the moment. He's that young. That is a monster. That is an absolute monster.
I head south to another lake as I hear big umputa are the villagers' target species. Fishing techniques here have remained pretty much the same for thousands of years. Maybe if I leave my high-tech equipment behind for now and join these fishermen, they'll share their secrets of where they catch their fish.
This is Lake Chamo in Africa's Rift Valley. And just looking around today, even in the 21st century, this place has the look of somewhere that could hold a real serious monster.
Lake Chamo is in the south of the Ethiopian Rift Valley, and it is known for the size of the beasts that live here. And these beasts aren't just fish. I generally scout out an area before I fish, but on this lakeside I'm not alone, and I'm not sure I like it. I'm not used to jostling for position with man-eaters. These guys can eat up to half their own body weight in a single meal, and very often it's fishermen that end up on the menu.
Situations like this that make you rethink your place on the food chain. I'm normally the person who's doing the hunting, but I'm very aware now that I'm actually having to sort of look around me, watch my back. Something might have its eye on me. I'm feeling a little bit more relaxed now. This croc's still in some of these reeds here. Didn't actually see the animal then, but heard the movement as it went through the reeds.
But if I want to learn how they catch their umputa, I'm going to have to fish like they do.
Good.